Hello Beauty News family, welcome to Beauty News. This is the 30th of April edition. We're going to be talking about new release beauty products and updates of one thing that we talked about in the past. But before we do that, we do have a sponsor. If you're in the market for a new hairdryer, you may want to check out the Panasonic NA67 Nano. This hairdryer heats hair gently and evenly using an innovative back and forth moving nozzle and comes with attachments for all types of hair. There's a concentrator nozzle for precise styling, the oscillating nozzle for gentle, even styling, or a full-size diffuser for styling wavy or curly hair. I love that this hairdryer comes with multiple attachments. That's not common with most hairdryers, and it gives so much flexibility to how the tool can be used to style hair. To find out more or purchase the Panasonic NA67 Nano hairdryer, you can shop now on Amazon by clicking the link in the description box. Okay, before we actually do get into the stuff, this week's stuff, we do need to let you guys know what last week's riddle was all about. So this was referencing the Lowest Cosmetics Meet Me in the Underworld palette. Now, if you don't know the story behind this palette, you might have been like, WTF those emojis? Don't make sense to me. Don't worry, no one's blaming you. We weren't overly familiar with the story either, but the story of Orpheus and Eurydice is basically Orpheus and Eurydice were in love. I think they were married, and Eurydice was actually bitten by a snake and she died. She ended up in the underworld, and Orpheus was like, hell no, you're not taking my lady love, I'm gonna go get her. So he used his amazing voice to basically convince the Prince of Darkness to let his lady love go, and he said, okay, yeah, you guys can go, but on one condition: do not turn around and look back. And they were like, all right, fine, off we go. And as they were getting up into the land of the living, Orpheus saw the light and he turned around to express his excitement to Eurydice, and she turned into dust, I think, or disappeared. But yeah, sad story.
So yeah, it was a very convoluted, and you had to be in on the story to understand the emojis, and we came up with them by reading the Wikipedia synopsis because we had no idea. So that's what it was last week. Before we get on to this week's episode as well, I do want to mention that we have started a TikTok account. Now, Hailey is all over TikTok. She watches TikTok. I am a grandma that does not understand TikTok. But we are on TikTok, so if you want to check us out, it's Beauty News Official. And essentially what we're doing is sharing, hopefully daily, little bits of news. We do have Jacob from the channel, and that's Jacob helping us out. So if you're familiar with him and you want to check out some daily news, check out our, I was going to say Instagram account, but it's not. It's TikTok. No, and what we're doing is, we're trying to make it a bit different from our Instagram account, where Jacob or one of us will give some brief news, and then other people can react to it. So like Hailey might chime in and give her quick opinion. So it's sort of like condensed versions of beauty news. Yes. Check it out, give it some love, and let's get on to the new stuff.
Okay, let's get into our update. So this is the Serenity palette from Annette's Makeup Corner and Menagerie Cosmetics. This collection also includes a liquid lipstick. So this is releasing on May the 1st at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're interested in this palette, get ready, it's coming very soon. The palette will retail for $38.95 US, and the lipstick is $14.95 US, or liquid lipstick, sorry. Annette has done a video revealing the palette and having a chat about it, and what we see is a very bright rainbow palette that is based around butterflies, basically. So this palette contains 12 shades, and it's a rainbow. It's definitely a rainbow.
So pretty much, if you're not familiar with Annette, she does do a lot of colourful looks. She reviews a lot of indie makeup, and these are very her colours. I do like that there's a mix of mattes and shimmers. I think she picked the shimmers really nice, really well. There's some nice shades in here that I don't think I have in my collection. So like the really beautiful shimmery orange, which is the shade Monarch, the shimmery pink Chrysalis. They're really beautiful shades that are quite unique. The rest of it, look, it is a rainbow palette. We've been seeing them for years. But I think if you love the formula of Menagerie and you love Annette and her makeup style, this is definitely a palette that would interest you. She did go through all the shades and sort of explain why she picked them. She did say a lot of them were very versatile. I beg to differ a little bit. I think there's maybe a couple shades in here that are versatile. The rest are just bold shades. But, you know, it's very her. The liquid lipstick is named after her cat Churro, and it is a warm pink shade. So again, very her shade. And it pairs really well with colourful eye looks, which is what, you know, her typical makeup style.
I really like the shade of Monarch. That, oh, it looks beautiful. I love that like sparkly orange. And I also think, is it Morpho? I think it's Morpho, which looks to be like, maybe it's got a slight duochrome to it, like a tealy, bluey green. It looks very, very pretty. Well done, Annette.
Yeah, also, if you were interested in this, they are only releasing 400 palettes in the first release. So these are handmade, so they couldn't sort of mass produce them. But Annette did say they will be restocking. So if you miss out on the first release, they will keep announcing restocks. And she said that they're looking to release around 3,000 palettes, but I guess if it's going to be really popular, they will just ramp that up even more. So yeah, if you miss out, it will be coming back.
All right, let's jump into some new news. We've seen another release from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Their face palettes. I wasn't expecting this, but okay, let's discuss. So these are the 3-in-1 essential face palettes. They contain a bronzer, highlighter, and a blush. And there's 3 like shade variants. So you've got like a light, medium, deep. There's one Italian summer, then you've got off to Costa Rica, and then tropical getaway. I think the only thing that I don't like about these, the blushes are all pink. I'm sad.
I know.
I'm sad about that. But I don't hate these. I don't hate the packaging. I kind of like it. And I really, really, really love that the bronzer is actually bigger than the blush and the highlights.
That's exactly what I love about it as well.
Yeah.
I have seen some mixed opinions on this. Like I've seen a lot of people say, we're over these. We've seen them time and time again. Yeah, yeah. And we have, but we've also not seen any new ones for
a long time,
I would say.
And I don't think we've ever seen anything like this from ABH, have we?
No, they've had bronzers, they've had highlighters, they've had highlighter palettes, they've had single blushes, or blush trios, I think they were. But they've never had the full face palette. And look, what I have been saying whenever we do see sort of face palettes, they're always too big. They're also not tailored for different skin tones, and the proportion of bronzer to blush to highlighter are completely wrong. These are right. So even though I'm probably not going to go out and buy one of these, I do have to give credit to them for having a big bronzer, a smaller highlighter, a smaller blush, because that is the sort of proportion that you'll use these up, which is really, really smart. It does have 3 color variants, and the good thing about it is it's not like last week with Benefit that they just put the same bronzer in all 3 palettes. They have tweaked them to suit different skin tones. I would love to see that if these are popular, which I don't think they will be, because they're sort of like your everyday staple that some people will buy, but it's not like one of those fashionable sort of trendy things to buy at the moment. So I think these won't be a rave sort of product, but I think they're a good staple to the range. And if they are well received, I would love to see them bring out different undertones and, you know, even a wider range of sort of colors, because I love this concept. And I also, not that we're traveling anywhere, and I know that the theme is more about creating a bronzed sort of summery look, so I understand that concept, but these are also great travel palettes if you were to travel. So it sort of has a double meaning, and I think this would be great in a makeup bag, like little handbag or something to do your makeup on the go.
I do think these have the potential to be popular, especially if the formula is amazing. Because ABH, they can take off like a fucking rocket to the moon with products simply based on their formula, especially their powder stuff, like their highlighters and stuff. They sometimes just, blow people out of the water. So it'll be interesting to see how these are received. But they'll be available on the 3rd of May on the website and the 6th of May through their retail partners. Okay, we have a new collection from Besame. This one is the Marilyn Monroe collection, which I think a lot of people were sort of waiting for, and I think it's been fairly well received. But it is interesting in how they have released the products, and I feel like they did the same sort of thing with their last collection. So let's get into the products. We've got the Red Hot Red lipstick in the Marilyn Monroe design. So this is meant to be like her signature color, and it's in like a nice custom bullet. This retails for $34 US. Now, next we have a whole bunch of products. Like, this is a really big collection, but it's all sold in bundles, and this is where things get a little bit interesting. So the smallest bundle is the Red Carpet Compact and Lipstick Set. This is $137 US. This consists of the Red Hot Red lipstick and the refillable metal compact with the silver screen powder. So the powder is a translucent powder that's used to set makeup, and it's supposed to blur fine lines and pores. It's meant to be finely milled, and it's a nice powder in a nice refillable metal compact. The compact looks really cool. So there's that. Then we have 2 other sets. Now, the prices here jump wildly, but they only differ by one single product. So we've got the Essentials Marilyn collection. This is $319 US, and this comes in like a sort of open up cardboard box with all of the products inside. And then we have the Marilyn's Cosmetic Valet case. This is $553 US, and this is
painful.
So this looks to be in potentially an acrylic style box. I'm not
with like
100%
drawers
sure.
that lift out.
Yes, correct. So you open it up and the drawers lift out in 2 layers with the products in them. So each of these collections contain the exact same thing, except the Marilyn's Cosmetic Valet case. This contains the refillable metal compact that I just spoke about in the first set that they're selling it in. The Essential collection, the 319 one, doesn't contain this item, so keep that in mind. But the other items in the collection are the Girl's Best Friend mascara, the Misty Coral lipstick, so this is a light coral color, and also the Carnation Red lipstick. So this is bright, bold, and a little fiery. It's a pink red. I will mention the Red Hot Red lipstick is based around the lipstick that Marilyn wore in Some Like It Hot. So it's meant to mimic that shade. Then there's 2 lip liner pencils in Berry and Melon. There's 2 eyeliner pencils in Espresso and Snow. So Espresso is a brown, Snow is a white. We've got the Rose Red Gloss, which is a tinted red gloss. The Champagne Gloss is a sparkling beige gloss. There's a white cream highlighter. So they're saying that this was the secret weapon of Marilyn's makeup arsenal. It's a cream highlighter in a pure white, which can be used all over the face, wherever you want to highlight. There's a Bombshell eyeshadow quad. This is supposed to replicate Marilyn's 1950s and 1960s eye looks. They're saying that they're very pigmented mattes. I would be interested to test that out based on my past experience with Besame eyeshadows. But anyway, so this contains the shades Peach, Cream, Taupe and Light Brown. Then we have a set of Marilyn lashes. So these are based on the size and shape of lashes that Marilyn Monroe used to use on screen, and they're tapered to create a cat eye effect. And there is also a sharpener in the set, which is helpful for the eyeliners and the lip pencils. So each collection has the exact same thing, except the metal compact with the silver screen powder, and one of them comes in what I think might be an acrylic case with two like lift or removable trays to hold your makeup basically. But the price difference is
absurd,
astronomical.
It's
a lot. I was quite surprised when I saw the pricing of that particular collection. I'm very sure that the boxes aren't cheap to make, and they've probably made them in quite a limited quantity, so they're probably not getting like a bulk purchasing discount. But also the fact that they don't sell anything else in the collection individually other than one single lipstick, I'm just like, I don't know. So yeah, it's an interesting collection. I think there's some really beautiful products in here, but it's a lot in the way that it's being sold as like bulk purchasing products basically.
Yeah, look, I pretty much like all the lip products. I think the Marilyn Red is gorgeous, so that's the only one that you can buy individually. That orangey sort of creamsicle colour is very unique. Not the most flattering, but if it does suit you, it's a gorgeous shade. There's a pinky coral red. There's a whole bunch of really beautiful stuff. The packaging's gorgeous. I get the sort of hype around this, and I think pairing with Marilyn Monroe is just like, it's makeup and Marilyn Monroe, it's a match made in heaven, because she was known for her makeup and supposedly had quite an elaborate makeup routine to achieve the effect that she was known for. So I think this is a great collection, and with Besame being sort of like the vintage specialists and picking shades, like replicating shades from certain eras and movies, such a smart idea. But I agree with you. I think this is really fucking cheeky that they're only releasing one thing individually and then you have to buy the rest in packs, because I understand that there will be collectors who want the pack with the really expensive case and they want to keep it in there, and it's going to be like a collector's edition special thing that they put on a shelf in their Marilyn Monroe museum that they keep. But for your average makeup lover who likes the Marilyn Monroe style, which would be quite a lot of people, they need to release these individually. And maybe they just haven't released, maybe they didn't make enough. Maybe they're like, maybe with the pandemic and all this kind of stuff, we could only create a certain amount of product. And so maybe they thought we're going to lean into the collectors who will sell it out faster, because we know that they're buying bulk, and that's, better for the brand than shipping things, one lipstick at a time kind of thing. But I think it's not a smart move. I think if people, if they want to get their brand recognition and people trying their formulas and, possibly, delving into a brand that they weren't familiar with and creating future customers, they need to sell this shit individually, or at least in like lip duos or something, because
I agree.
Asking for $500 and something US for a full collection during a pandemic where a lot of people have lost their jobs is like, it's not a good move. It is not a good move.
I agree with you on that. Like, I don't see our current market as like really accepting of this kind of makeup release. I definitely don't think releasing these large expensive bundles is a bad idea. I just feel like they should also have released items individually. Like maybe you can buy the eyeliners as a duo, or the lip liners as a duo, or the lip glosses as a duo. Like, just making it a little bit more accessible. Even like the eyeshadow quad, let people buy the eyeshadow quad as an individual item. Like, I understand it's a Marilyn collection, so I understand why the red lipstick is the only item that is being sold individually. That's like the iconic thing about her, but not everyone actually likes to wear red lipstick. So
some people might just want to buy one lip gloss. Like,
yeah, that's right. Some people might just want to buy that beautiful powder compact.
Yeah, they might collect sort of like vintage looking makeup and they love that powder compact, or they've got, a mother who they want to buy that for Mother's Day because they think it's really special and beautiful. Like, I think I agree with you. Release the packs. Absolutely. If you want to buy a full face of Marilyn Monroe inspired makeup, inspired by the makeup she wears, which is so smart, you've got the opportunity of buying that, but also let the people that just can't afford to do it or just want to delve into one little piece buy that individually. I think this is, it's sort of disrespectful to their customer base because I feel like they're favoring collectors over makeup users. And that's where I think is a bit unfair. And I don't like that. I don't want to support that. But I do really like the makeup they've released. I like the packaging. I like it all. And if I needed all this makeup, which I do not, and I was a big Marilyn Monroe fan, I would be like, okay, it might actually be a good deal to buy the $300 and something packet to get a full face of makeup.
Yeah.
But I find this hard to sort of swallow.
Before we continue this week's episode, we do have a sponsor. A good hairdryer is an essential tool for any hairstyling routine. The Panasonic NA67 Nano hairdryer heats hair gently and evenly using an innovative back and forth moving nozzle, which helps to keep your head cool, providing quick, gentle drying with no hot spots because burning yourself when heat styling is no fun. Nanotechnology draws moisture from the air and creates superfine moisture-rich nanoparticles that penetrate the hair shaft, keeping each strand healthy and reducing everyday damage. The Panasonic NA67 Nano hairdryer comes with attachments for every type of hair. There's a concentrator nozzle for precise styling, the oscillating nozzle for gentle, even styling, or a full-size diffuser for styling wavy or curly hair. The 3 heat settings, 2 speed settings, and neutral color means there's something to suit everyone and every hair type. This hairdryer is getting a lot of great reviews. Many people are reporting that it dries their hair faster without being excessively hot. I think most people that dry their hair with a hairdryer would agree that sometimes it's a chore, so being able to cut a few minutes out of your drying and styling routine would be great. To find out more or purchase the Panasonic NA67 Nano hairdryer, you can shop now on Amazon by clicking the link in the description box.
All right, we've got a new collection coming from Charlotte Tilbury. 2 palettes really. These are the Love palettes, and these are all over face palettes coming in 2 different shade varieties. So essentially you have 3 eye products, a bronzer, a highlighter, a cheek pop, so aka a blush, and a face powder. So again, there's 2 color variants. There's Glowing Beauty and also Pretty Blushed, and they're $75 each.
I like the colors of the palettes. There's something positive I can say. Not that I usually care about saying something positive, but what really triggers me about this is, like, you've got your bronzer and your blushes and your setting powder or your highlighting powder, like, all so fucking close together. And there is an
small
image
pans.
In small pans, and there's an image of the girl holding the palette, and it's not really that much bigger than her hand, and I'm just like, what brushes are you using to apply your bronzer? A fucking fluffy eyeshadow brush? I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I hate it.
Do you know what annoys me about this the most, though? Like, look, I like Charlotte Tilbury. Things I've tried from her I do quite like. But what annoys me about this the most, it's not the combination of eye and face and the fact that the cheek and the highlighter are the same size of the eyeshadows, which you don't need it being the same size, make the eyeshadows way smaller.
Yeah.
It's the inclusion of the face powder, because all of a sudden that has limited who can buy these. And it does,
absolutely,
on first view, this looks like a palette for lighter skin and then a palette for deeper skin. But if you look at the face powder, it's not. It's a palette for light skin and a palette for light skin that likes slightly deeper colors. So the inclusion of the face powder was the worst idea here. It makes it so limiting.
That powder is going to piss off a good chunk of the internet, and I just think it's silly for... Yeah.
All right, last week we talked about Colourpop bringing out eyeshadow quads in a variety of sort of nudie shades. Now they're releasing face quads. So there must be something in the water, because we've seen a lot of face palettes coming out this episode. But this is the Sweet Cheeks collection. Essentially, the packaging is just a large version of their eyeshadow quad packaging. But in it, there's 2 blushes, a highlighter, and what looks like a bronzer in all different different color tones and depths of color. So the shades we have, there's Sugar Frosted, Extra Glazed, Cookie Cluster, Tea Cakes, and Sweet Roll. These are all launching on the 29th of April at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm not sure the price of these. If you want a face quad to match your eyeshadow quad that you bought last week, here you go. Exciting.
I don't care for it.
Nothing to say. It is boring. Moving on to Givenchy.
Moving right along. We've actually got more like face quads. Not really, but kind of. These are new blush prism powders from Givenchy. So they're claiming 12-hour wear, pigments that adjust when viewed in different lighting, and they provide color on the skin with a sense of clarity or transparency. So I think they're meant to be potentially like a shimmery, low pigmentation blush. Maybe? That's kind of what I get from this. So it comes in 4 shades. There's a lilac chiffon, rose taffeta, coral veil, and sienna organza. Look, I feel like I don't want these. I definitely don't need this much powder blush, loose powder blush in my life. Let's be specific about that. But I also don't hate them, and I feel like I want one just to see how easy it is to like get a little bit of one or a little bit of another. Like, can you turn this into 4 blushes or 6 blushes or 7, or like, how can you make this sort of be more than just one loose powder blush?
Look, I do agree with you. I feel like, again, like you, I do not need one of these in my life. However, if these do apply as nicely as they sound, which I sort of hope they would for Givenchy prices, I don't hate the idea, because I'm really sick of blushes that sort of go on bold and look patchy. Something that gives a bit of a glow and a sheen to the skin, like a translucent sort of beautiful amount of color. They sound nice, and the colors are actually really pretty tones. Of course, you've got the pink quad, you've got more of a coral one, a more peachy orange, and then a more nude. It looks like, so this packaging design, they bring out powders like this all the time. So face powders with different quads, like some have green and some have purple, and once they mix it all together, it's essentially just a translucent powder. So these are probably designed to be mixed, but they almost look like they might have little divide in there. So if you do turn it upside down, maybe you can use this as
potentially
4 different shades, which would make this probably a little bit more have more value for money if you can get 4 shades in like a complementary color story. I kind of want to try one.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's no, I don't think it is bad, because I think that's sort of where, like, you look at a product where you wouldn't usually be interested, but there might be a tiny little bit of innovation there that makes you go, oh, I think I want to try it. Like the orangey peach one, I want that, and I want the nude one.
Same. They're the 2
I don't need
really
that
like
much blush. Like, I don't need it. I don't even want more blush in my life, but
no,
It's enough to make.
But if it's amazing and it's the best blush of all time,
right.
then you can get rid of all your other blushes and just use this.
Exactly.
Is it going to be the best? Probably not, but it could be.
Probably not. But it might be.
Yeah, they might be. But their powders have been really popular for the longest time. So I'm curious to see how they do create blushes that adjust and have 12-hour wear and look like perfecting and like transparent on the skin. I'm intrigued.
We have a new collection here from Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. So this is the Prep and Set collection. This appears to sort of focus on the eyes and the base, or eyes and face. We've got the Prep Starter Hydrating Under Eye Primer. This is $24. They say it's a delicate under eye serum, priming serum. Silky texture infused with rich shea butter. It delivers soft focus, blurring finish, and has a cooling metal tip applicator. Then we have the Bake and Brighten Under Eye Powder. This is $29. This is a color neutralizing powder that sets concealer for a flawless finish. It's infused with shea butter and banana flower, and it comes in 5 shades. Then we have the Face It All Brightening and Setting Palette. This is $39. This includes 4 shades and comes in 4 different color stories. It's a silky soft pressed powder that sets and perfects for a blurred finish, and it's infused with banana flower. Then we have the Last Act Translucent Setting Powder. This is $29. This is supposed to set your complexion with a silky, flawless finish worthy of a standing ovation. Oh, I love that. It's a super fine pressed powder that sets makeup without lifting foundation, and it's in a universal translucent shade. It's all launching on the 6th of May at Jaclyn Hill, or Jaclyn Cosmetics, sorry. Look, I believe this is all just stuff that she's sort of, bulking out her range. But I don't know. I don't care about any of it. And
she
that
needs to
under
fill
eye
up the
primer,
standard
I'm just
Ulta.
like, she does. She needs to fill up the standard Ulta. Yeah. That under eye primer, that gives me a level of rage that's like, you won't understand until you start seeing the signs of aging under your eyes, and your brain goes, oh my God, I need that. It's going to fix all my problems. But it won't. I know it won't. It's Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. It's not that great.
What annoys me about the under eye primer is simply that she's creating another step that you don't need, and that realistically creates another layer on top of your skincare and under your makeup that can cause disruption to your base, or can make things start looking cakey, or if you've got oily skin, making things sort of smear around. So I feel like
it's settle into lines.
Exactly, all that kind of stuff. And the more layers you put, the more risk you actually are of having those issues happen. So I almost would say skip primer altogether. Just go with skincare and then makeup and work it into the face really well.
Yeah.
But I feel like what she's done, which is very smart, is, again, creating a product that, like you said, if it's an area of concern for you, or you think that your under eye sort of concealer migrates a lot and you thought, okay, a primer is going to keep it in place, people are going to buy this just to see if it works. And chances are it won't work, but she's created a new category of makeup that people are going to be like, well, I haven't heard of that, or I don't do that. Let's add that step to my routine. So I think it's both very smart, but also please don't fall for it. The rest of the stuff to me just feels like when she launched her highlighters, she had the pressed highlighter, the loose highlighter, the other loose highlighter, and then she got rid of them all and repackaged and re-released them anyway. Is she going to be doing that with these in a year's time? Are these going to be redundant? She's going to wipe them all from her website and then just go, oh, hang on, I'm only releasing the things again that were slightly successful in better packaging. Like, I don't know. I'm not I don't feel like this is great. And also, I understand that Jacqueline is well known for like the under eye setting and the baking, and she loves to do the like, to lift my face, I'm going to set under here and do this and do that. So I get this, but please, on an everyday basis, don't do your makeup like that. Like, chances are you don't have as much filler in your face to make it look smooth. It's probably going to make you look cakey and textured and crap. This is perpetuating the whole, you need that really full face of cakey makeup to look great. Whereas that might look good with a face-tuned, Instagram post. But in reality, this is Cape Town fucking mess makeup. Like, I'm not... Yeah. It suits her, but I don't like the way she does her makeup. It is too much.
No, this is just overload of like, here's like 5 different products to do one job. Yeah. And I just don't, I'm not into this. This is not the way I do my makeup anymore. I don't like it. I'm not into it. It's too much. I wouldn't buy any of this, basically. There's nothing here that's intriguing enough to me to want to buy it. Yeah.
But I think also from what I've seen from Jacqueline fans, people loved the old Jacqueline. And if you look at how she did her makeup back then, it wasn't the mass amounts of concealer and the mass amounts of, setting everything down and baking things. And it was really simple and approachable and something that you can recreate and look good in real life. The way she does her makeup now it's stage makeup. It's not...
Yeah.
And I don't encourage people... I would
agree.
Like, if you need a loose powder and you want to try her formula, like, go for it. But what she's selling, please don't buy. Like, don't buy that idea of that you need all this shit to set your base. You don't.
No, you don't. Really don't. You don't need that much. This is the sort of thing that, I would expect, like you said, stage makeup. It makes me think of, like, camera makeup. So you put on more makeup when you're on camera, because the camera and the lighting basically mutes down a lot of what you wear. So you can go really, really heavy, but then if you wear that out in public, people are like, hi, makeup, how you doing? So,
exactly
there's
right.
a difference between what looks nice in real life and what looks good on camera. This feels very camera makeup-ish.
Yeah. Also, and I noticed this a couple of weeks ago, the camera also picks up different tones. So it picks up redness in your skin, a lot more than what you see in real life. And a couple of weeks ago in a beauty news episode, I wore a medium coverage foundation instead of a full coverage foundation. Mm-hmm. In real life, I looked like normal and good, and it was great. On camera, it looked like I was wearing no makeup and I looked tired as fuck. So the problem is that you really do need to wear a lot to look good on camera. And Jacqueline that's how she now lives her life, camera makeup. And I don't want to encourage that shit. All right, we've got a new collection that we've seen coming from Kaleidos Makeup. So this is the first collection since they did their first collaboration with Angie, which was very, very popular, and I think a lot of people noticed the brand from that. This is the Flower Punk collection. So unlike the one with Angie, this is a full collection of multiple products. It's available for pre-order on the 28th of April at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the shipping begins the 5th of May. So what we've seen, there's quite a few things here. We haven't seen everything revealed yet, so I'm going to list the products and we'll just talk about what we've seen so far. So what they've said so far, there is an eyeshadow palette. This is a 9-pan Flower Punk palette. There's 2 lip sets. There's also a blue agave lip mask, and they say and more, but that's all I can see besides what looks like maybe the full collection pack. Is that the and more?
Yeah.
Or is there actually more that we can't see? So the eyeshadow palette is the Flower Punk palette, and it looks very melt-like. I will put a video on the screen of how you open the palette. It looks like Inglot. So they have the magnets and you can sort of slide it around and open it in different ways, which I don't know if that's actually that useful in this context, but it's interesting. This palette, it's been compared a lot to Melt because the format looks like a Melt palette, but also it's got the grungy greens that Melt sort of became really popular for. So we've got 4 grungy green shades, which look like they're almost dupes for the Gemini palette from Melt. And then you have 2 mint shades and 3 pinky shades, and it's all a mix of shimmer and matte. So it's a very interesting combo because it's like grungy greens and then pastel sort of shades. I'm curious to see how this goes together. Like, I want to start seeing some looks.
Yeah. I think, like, looking at some of the shades individually, I see some nice shades there. I do really like their shimmer formula as well. So it's not a color story that absolutely blows me away. But I do like their formula and I do see some interesting shades here. It wouldn't be an everyday palette for me, but most people already know that based on what I say in these episodes. I do know that the lip clays, so they're saying that they're a buoyant, soft and fluffy as the clouds themselves. It's got a cool, spreadable, moisturizing character of clay, which is interesting. Look, I'm just going to say this straight. Clay is not moisturizing. I feel like it's quite drying.
I was about to say exactly the same thing. I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Clay dries things out.
But that's okay. That's fine. We'll see how they go. They look to be really nice nude shades. And then the other collection, sorry, I should mention there's 2 collections. So there's Sandcastle, which appears to all be nudes. And then there's the Flora Noir collection. Again, the description is the same, except these look like they might actually be interesting brights. So it looks like there's a red, a really, really fucking bright pink, potentially like a tealy blue, and then maybe a mustardy, or maybe it's like a yellowy brown. Well, mustard is yellow brown. Thanks, Hailey.
There is an image of this model wearing the greeny shades on her eyes, which I love those shades.
Yeah.
Like Hailey said before that this palette's like not an everyday sort of palette for her. These green shades I would wear on an everyday basis, so I love this look. But you can see that browny, orangey shade on her lips there.
Yes, yeah. So that could be it. Or that could also come from the Sandcastle collection. I don't know, because they all look like nudes.
Now looking at that model wearing the greens, I want to wear the greens. So look, they've got colour me intrigued. And to be fair, I do really like their lip products. So I'm down for this. It looks cool.
Okay, we have a new palette coming from LH Cosmetics. So this is Linda Hallberg Cosmetics. It's described as Linda Hallberg's dream palette. So this is launching on, actually it's out now. So they're just calling this the color palette. It's a 12-pan palette. And basically they say that the colors are meant to be used anywhere. Let your face and body be your canvas. You are the creator. So like I said, 12 shades. They're all matte and they're meant to be high pigmented, soft and easy to use shadows, all in the primary and secondary colors, together with a black, a white, a brown and a beige that enables you to create any color you want. It's 100% vegan, and they do say you can use it on the eyes, cheeks, lips, brows and body. So whatever you want to do with it. For every palette sold, they're donating €1 to the Rainbow Fund, which is to help the LGBTQ plus community. So like I said, this is available now at lhcosmetics.com and it is $39 US.
So look, this is just a rainbow palette with a beige, a brown and a black and a white. So it is very, very versatile if you want a matte palette that, you know, covers all colors and neutrals as well, because you could theoretically mix these and create any tone you want. So I think that's cool. My question, and it looks nice and pigmented from the swatches, My question is that if Linda wanted to do this, and this is her perfect palette, why is she doing it 2 years after the rainbow palettes were popular?
Yeah.
Like, she's had the brand for so long. Don't you think that if she's had something like a dream palette in her head, you would want to create that and release that because
Probably
it's your
would
brand?
have been the first palette that I would create. The dream
Exactly
palette.
right. And it should have been like back when, before these were a dime a dozen, you can find them everywhere. Like, yeah, I sort of feel like she missed her opportunity. What was that brand, Certify? This looks like a Certify palette.
Oh, yeah, it does.
But
look
they
like
were
a
out like
Certified
2-3
palette.
years ago. So I do like LH Cosmetics, and I do think their quality is nice, but I just feel like they missed the boat with this one. It's no longer relevant.
I haven't really been into rainbow palettes for quite a while, so.
And once you own one, you've got them.
Yeah,
you don't need another one. All right, MAC, they did launch another MAC Underground product. Now, this is already sold out, so it's irrelevant, but it's interesting because they talked about these MAC Underground releases, and they were going to release them fairly regularly, and it was going to be a limited, 1,000 items or something of a limited stock product, and you could only buy it once. And then they didn't do it for years. The last one we saw was that ombre highlighter eyeshadow type product, and that was, I don't know, I'll put the date on the screen when we saw that. So this is the next one that we've seen, years apart. It's ridiculous. But essentially what they did, they took their iconic throwback lime green lip gloss in the shade Squirt. Oh, it's a horrible name. And they've changed it into a plumping gloss. Yeah, bad. Yeah, but they took Squirt and they changed it to like a lip balm format of it. So this was supposed to be a Y2K icon. So clearly it launched in 2000 originally. So it's been a long time. So if you don't remember this,
21
probably because you
years.
weren't alive.
Yeah.
So yeah, they essentially just took a lip gloss formula that they discontinued because it clearly wasn't that popular, and they turned it into a lip balm version. So this is the Squirt Balm, hooray. But it's sold out, so it's gone now, and probably for the better. But I'm curious to see what they're going to bring out next. I want to know what people think about these sort of limited stock releases from a big brand like MAC. This was only available to the US and Canadian audiences anyway, so I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand. Yeah,
I know back when they first sort of announced this, whatever they're calling it, underground crap, I was like, why are they putting money into making these things that, like, they're just going to sell a limited run of? I feel like it's MAC trying to claw its way out of the grave. If we think back to that highlighter that they released for their first underground release, I remember Kat and I saying we would like to get our hands on that, but we couldn't. So I feel like it probably would have sold quite well simply as a limited edition item. And this balm would probably sell, well, actually, I don't know if it would sell that well as a limited edition item, but I don't know.
I had a quick Google, and the highlighter, so the rainbow highlighter, came out June last year. So it seems like they're doing one of these once a year.
Okay, yeah.
I sort of disagree in a sense that I don't think this is MAC trying to be cool or dragging themselves out of the grave, because releasing 1,000 of anything is not going to make them enough money to... It's not going to keep the brand afloat, if that makes sense. I think what this is doing is, I feel like there's almost... They're trying to reward the MAC enthusiasts. They're trying to say, if you're a MAC collector and you love MAC highlighters and you want something special, you can buy this limited edition thing. I feel like it's trying to perpetuate MAC enthusiasts that love their MAC collections and love having something that's special no one else has. I feel like that's what they're trying to do. I feel like they're trying to reward the people who have stuck around and that buy all their limited edition packaging, and I feel like that's what this is. It's not like, let's test the waters and see if people want a green lip balm that we discontinued ages ago because no one wanted it. It's just trying to perpetuate the collectors that will be scrambling for this, because that's the only way I can feel like that they can justify bringing out a completely new item for only 1,000 of them.
Okay, we have a new tinted moisturizer from Maybelline. They have expanded their Fit Me range. So this is a Fit Me tinted moisturizer. They're saying it provides natural coverage and shine-free 12-hour hydration. This formula enhances skin without hiding it, blurs pores and conceals imperfections. It is your natural look and feel all in one easy fit. Created from 76% natural origin ingredients. Very good. It comes in 14 shades. It's available now at Walmart for $7.98 US. I'm not sure where else it's available. But yeah, it just looks like a tinted moisturizer.
Look, I'm going to have to say one positive thing. I like the tube. I love foundations in this tube form. I feel like it's the most efficient way to get all the product right to the end.
Yeah, I agree.
And also you can dispense like a real precise amount. So if you only want a tiny bit, you don't need to use a whole pump. I've noticed a big trend with drugstore brands bringing out low coverage, natural looking foundations. There's a new one from Revlon that I saw in store the other day. I think L'Oreal have brought out some. So all the brands are going for the low coverage, which I think, again, might be them paying attention to the trends. Like the full coverage Instagram makeup is no longer what people want to wear, but it also might be responding to the pandemic where people just want something fast that will look okay on their Zoom meetings, but not be too much work. So I don't hate this. I don't mind the Fit Me range. So I'd be curious to see how these go. If I saw this on sale in Australia, so like 50% off, 40% off, I would consider trying
pick it up. Yeah. All right, I know you're all very excited. Just calm down for a minute, please. Morphe has released 2 new palettes. And even more exciting, one of them is like a reboot of an old palette. Fuck.
Hooray!
How exciting is this? I'm so pumped. So let's talk about the actual new palette. This is the 35D Desert Bouquet. Right, Desert Bouquet Artistry Palette. So this is available now at Sephora and Ulta, and basically they're saying the palette is full of earth tones, vibrant desert flower brights, and green succulent hues. It's got creamy mattes and sparkling shimmers. So there we go. The next one is the 35O. They're calling it the Supernatural Glow. So they're saying your dream neutral palette is here. We read your reviews, watched your videos, and gave our best-selling OG, the 35O Nature Glow palette, a glow up. All because of you, babe. Still glam-packed with those super wearable shades you love. This beloved Morphe Artistry palette has a fresh new spin with pops of peach and modern neutrals. We kept 22 of your favorite ride or die shades and added 11 that you craved. So you can go from natural to supernatural just like that. It's available now at Morphe Brushes for $26.
Can I ask a question? So it's a 35 pan palette and they've kept 22 of your fave ride or dies and added 11. Where's the other 2?
Where's the other 2? Where are the other 2? Maybe they also kept 2 shades that nobody liked. And
yeah, they weren't your ride or die. They were the rejects, but they're fuck it, we've got 2 spare pans.
Because what the fuck are we meant to do? I don't really care for any palette that is like over 18 shades. Even that is pushing way too many.
Yeah, look, we'll put a comparison of the old 35O versus the new one. At a distance, they're pretty fucking similar. So many people owned the 35O because Jaclyn really promoted the crap out of this palette, and that's why she made Morphe a lot of money. She made a lot of money. So a lot of people have this or have decluttered it or whatever. So it's stale, and I don't feel like this is enough of a refresh to bring it back. Maybe if they brought back a mini version, a condensed version, a mini pan version, similar to how the big James Charles was turned into the mini, maybe bring it back with updated shades in a condensed small palette, I would be like, okay, that's acceptable. But this is just flogging a dead horse.
For me personally, their palettes are always going to be redundant because they're always going to be too fucking big. Like, I don't want my palette to literally double as like a fucking side table. It's too much.
All right, let's move on to Ofra Cosmetics. They have a new highlighter. This is the Mother Earth highlighter. It's a duochrome that shifts between neon green to pink. So they're saying that for every unit sold for Mother Earth, we are donating to the Canopy Project to have a tree planted across the globe. Now, I like this idea. Look, in some photos, it just looks like a whitey, sort of yellow, lemony highlighter. They did swatch it on their Instagram stories, but it is the most infuriating video ever, because they're like, look at the mother glow, blah, 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 blah. They're promoting the duochromeness, but they're getting the effect by having a pink light and a green light, which makes it look like it's a duochrome, but in reality, it's the white highlighter reflecting the lights used in this shoot. It's a cool concept.
You can confirm that because the packaging is also reflecting the different coloured lights.
Yeah. Exactly right. And this person's hands are fucking pink or green. There's one person's hands that look green, one person's that look pink. Their nails are reflecting green and pink. It is, this is very deceptive. Hopefully they did this because they couldn't capture the shift on camera, which I understand it's very, very hard to do. And hopefully what you see in this manipulated setup is actually what you get when you swatch it in real life, and they had to go to the extreme lengths to put different colored lights to give you that impression of what it looks like in real life. But I don't believe you'll get this effect from the highlighter, unfortunately. All right, I just took a really quick Google search and I found someone applying it in a video. It looks like one of those white highlighters that has a green iridescence to it. It's not that special, hun. Sorry to say.
Yeah. No. I'm not that interested. I'm not surprised.
All right, we've seen some new split pan Hydra Effects liners from Suva Beauty. We originally saw the black and white one called Doodle, and now we've got Doodle D and Doodle Do. So Doodle D is a neon pink and orange, and Doodle Do is a blue and yellow. So these are the effects liners. They are glow under a UV light, and they're water activated cake liners. Now, the cool thing about having the split pan is that you can create a multitude of different colors, and we've got them swatched in sort of like a gradient, so you can see the pink all the way through to the colors you can create in between, through to the orange, and the same with the blue to the yellow. You can create beautiful greens and aquas and whatnot in there. These are $16 US each, and they're available now at Suva Beauty. I much prefer this format to the full size cake liners, because if you're just a casual neon liner wearer, you really don't need a full pan of each of these shades. So this is at least a little bit more cost effective and realistic. But I think Suva were really late to the party with this. We've seen a few other brands, like indie brands, that do cake liners. They brought out split pans and multiple shades of them a while ago. So even though in my mind Suva Beauty were one of the first brands that sort of made these cake liners popular, and this is their sort of thing they're known for, I feel like they were slow on the mark with this, which is a shame, because now it looks like they're just copying other people who copied them in the first place.
Okay, last thing. This is from Trixie Cosmetics. They have a full makeup collection here. This is called the Bottle Blonde Collection. So it consists of quite a few products. We have the Bottle Blonde 12 pan eyeshadow palette. It's $48 US. I feel like that's expensive. Yes, it is.
Especially since the Linda Hallberg one was cheaper.
Yeah, I know, right? Then we have 4 lip glosses. These are $16 each. The shades are Hater, which is a moody oxblood red. I'm Baby is a translucent gloss with coppery and pink sparkles. High Ponytail is a medium coverage watermelon pink with subtle gold sparkles. And Press On is a Fandango pink that's a high coverage gloss. Then we have the Bottle Blonde accessory pack. This is $16 and it appears to be a selection of stickers. There's one bubble heart patch, so that's a sew-on patch, a hairdryer pin, and 3 large stickers and 2 mini tea heart stickers. I don't know what they are, but anyway, there's stuff there. There's a pink handheld mirror. This is $26. And then there's the Bottle Blonde PR box, which contains all of the above items, plus a one-of-a-kind behind-the-scenes Polaroid from the Bottle Blonde campaign. That's $150. It's all available now at Trixie Cosmetics.
Look, I have to say, I'm really digging the fact that Trixie Cosmetics are bringing out things that are beyond just the pot glitter and the pink lipstick that was the same looking lipstick, but they were 2 shades, whatever. I'm glad to start seeing some makeup releases, and maybe like Trixie had to sell the crap to fund better collections. That maybe, might be the case, but definitely there's better stuff that's coming out. I do think the price point is way too high, especially thinking of like LH Cosmetics. Yeah, it's so expensive. And also one thing I've noticed about the palette that's a little bit hard to deal with, like I can't just look past this. It looks different in different photos. So on their website, it looks very, very pigmented, and they've turned up the saturation and the contrast. So it looks like there's like a vibrant purple. In other photos, it looks a lot more muted. And in the marketing images, it just looks like it's
Photoshopped.
Like digitally created mock-up of it. It doesn't actually look like it's a real product. So I sort of don't know what I'm getting with this, and I find that a little bit annoying when you can only buy a product online. Like, okay, these swatches, where is that Barney purple bright color? That really bold magenta purple in the swatches. This looks like a muted, toned down, slightly purpley toned palette with some nudes, which is fine in itself, and it you know, it's very user friendly and, you know, easy for a lot of people to wear. But the image does not show that. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I noticed that when I first looked at like the marketing images, I was like, oh, it's not even a real palette. It's like, it's just a computer generated image, which I personally find to be really like frustrating. I'm just not here for it, because then when you actually see the real thing, they're often nothing alike.
And to clarify, when we talked about like digital image, it looks like they've taken a photo of the palette, but then they've inserted the pans in like a flat sort of square of color. They've just placed that on. They've done that in editing, which looks really creepy. We always bag brands out that do this, and even though this has got a lot of good feedback from people on our Instagram, I have to say, I've got to call out.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to
keep that same energy. The time has come to dedicate this episode to a Beauty News VIP, and this week's VIP is Leanne. Thank you, Leanne, for supporting Beauty News, and thank you to everyone who supports Beauty News in whichever way you choose to do so. Kat, what is our emoji riddle for the week?
All right, we've got some water splurts.
Droplets?
Let's call them splurts. We've also got a sick green face, and CD, compact disc, baby. So let us know what that is referring to in the comments.
Excellent. Can you guess? Leave your guesses down below, and we will confirm or deny next week. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Beauty News. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.